Welcome to CR Hope's Foundation's Seed of Life private school, located in the southern tip of Zanzibar in the village of Kizimkazi. It is a private school for 76 students currently. Right now, we're entering the volunteer house, where we have volunteers visit us from Europe, Asia, South America, and America. In the main volunteer house, you have 3 rooms. Each room houses 4 individuals. So the bulk of the volunteers stay here. In the main room of the volunteer house, you will find walls with messages from previous volunteers. These messages are geared to explain the expectations when coming here and sharing some of their experiences and stories. As we approach in the main room, we have our wall of chores. Every volunteer chips in some way at the school and throughout the house. We have a community kitchen. We all chip in for the groceries. We all have a share of responsibilities from cooking to cleaning of the kitchen. Now, a volunteer's life here can be a lot of fun, but there is a lot of work to be done. Our day is Monday through Friday, starting at 7:30 in the morning and going to about 1, sometimes 2 p.m. The school's main function is to provide these children with an education and an English background so they can become more successful in the needs of their country. Zanzibar is a heavily tourist country which brings in tourists from all over the world. So a foundation in the English language is a necessity for these children as they grow up in order to earn income and get jobs on the local economy. Now, CR Hope Foundation was inspired by my cousin Yanni, and it is in his memory that the school continues its goal to provide a quality education for children in this village that Yanni fell in love with while on vacation here with his brother Renos.
Hi, my name is Paula. I've been working at Sierra Hope Foundation for a year and a few months now as a volunteer coordinator. And over the time that I've spent here, over the year that I've spent here, I've seen like really huge changes to our kids and how they are more open-minded, how they are more open to interacting to new cultures. I mean, it gets a little difficult when they get to say goodbye all the time, but really it's been impactful in so many ways because we're reaching out to their community, we're reaching out to more children because we've also been trying to help the public school, and I could say they're facing so much more of a challenge, and the kids here are really in their happy place, and we get to give them so much love, and the kids from the public school don't get that. So this is really challenging, and with the volunteers that are coming, I'm really happy, and it's making a change to the kids' hearts and the community.
Now, every morning to start the school day, we line up in formation. This allows me to make a fool of myself during warm-up drills, which I was very good at.
Reach for the sky. Reach for the sky. Down to your chest. Lean back like Simba. Ah!
Now, one of the crucial things about volunteers is spending time in the classroom. We have 4 classrooms. KG1, which is currently pictured right here, which has 3 volunteers working at it. KG2, another 3 volunteers working in it, interacting a lot more with the kids on these 2 levels. Now, Standard 1, which is pictured right here, is like first grade in America. So the volunteers here are more focused on helping the teacher in classroom preparation. Standard 2, similar to our second grade in the United States and in Europe. The volunteers are again focused on helping the teacher in the lesson plans. one responsibility that all volunteers share is serving the kids breakfast. After an hour of instruction, the kids are released so they can have some breakfast. They bring their own breakfast, but the volunteers serve tea, sometimes porridge, and hand out some bread to every student. The way this works is as the volunteer holds a cup, they walk around to the area, kid raises their hand, let them know that they want some tea, and we go ahead and give them a cup. Also, same works with the bread. They'll see a volunteer with some bread, they'll raise their hand, letting them volunteer know that they want some bread. We'll give it to them and make sure that every child that wants something is served appropriately. Now, no, you are not forgotten. After the kids are served breakfast, the volunteers themselves are given a little bit of a break to go back to the main house and eat breakfast. Breakfast is served by one of the locals that comes to the house Monday through Friday, sometimes even Saturdays, to serve us breakfast. And it is these lovely ladies that come over here that volunteer their time to also wash our laundry on Tuesdays and Thursdays, if we have any laundry that needs to be washed, as well as straighten out the main house. Also, when we're sitting down eating breakfast, we typically talk about what we're going to be doing for the rest of the day. After school, we like to hang out as a group. We look at ourselves as a big family, so we discuss the game plan for later on in the day during breakfast, where we're going to have lunch, any ideas for dinner, and any activities that we might have for the upcoming day, possibly even bounce ideas for the weekend. The reason why breakfast is so important is it also gives us the energy for what the volunteers think is the most important event of the day. We have playtime coming up, and these kids want attention during playtime, as you're about to see in the next clips.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling, I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going life. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain.
Now, we're not about all work and no play. Like I said, around breakfast times, we usually like to talk about what we're going to do on the weekends. And on this weekend, we decided to go see a few of the sites of Zanzibar. Now, volunteers come at different periods, so a lot of times some of the things volunteers have already done, so we try to pick an activity that no one has done. Now, every once in a while, you might have that one volunteer that considers herself as a DJ and wants to inspire some car karaoke. Now, out of respect for these women, I decided to mute the sound so we're not showing their singing ability or lack thereof singing. I'm just joking, ladies. It was great being in the taxis with you guys. DJ Barbara was on DJ duty, making sure we were full of entertainment. And ladies, your car karaoke sessions were ones to go down to become legendary. I don't think any of the volunteers in the house will measure up to the car karaoke. Just keep on jamming, ladies. You know, I know you're going to be doing the same thing when you guys go back to Portugal. I'm quite sure you're going to be meeting up to continue car karaoke. Now, on this day, we decided to go for a spice tour as a group. It was very interesting. Got to sample some spices, some fruit. But, you know, the women made out like royalty with jewelry. Somebody got proposed to twice. Somebody got a new Coco Chanel Louis Vuitton coconut bag. Not going to mention any names. And, of course, the guys, we had to wait and get treated maybe a little bit. But the ladies kind of made out a little bit more than me and Tony. We had fun. What can I say? Video. Now off to the, yeah, it's video. Now off to the next adventure. Everybody say hello.
Chapati. Chapati. Hakuna Matata.
Mambo. This is nothing.
I feel cozy near them.
We're ready.
Ready, steady.
Prison Island, here we come.
Beware. Take one.
So off we go on the boat. We were hoping for a smooth trip. It didn't work out that way. We actually had 2 contests of who got the most wet. One contest going there, one contest going back. There is a little bit of a controversy over who won. Not going to mention any names on who started the controversy, but all in all, we had a great time. Now, the main attraction to see on Prison Island is actually the tortoise sanctuary. Now, tortoises were introduced to Zanzibar originally from the Sultan of Oman, who gifted the country with 4 tortoises. Of the 4, only one is still alive, and that one currently is 196 years old. Now, tortoises multiplied, and throughout the years, there are over 100 tortoises in this sanctuary. On the backs of these tortoises is a number, and that indicates how old they are. There are quite a few that were over 100 years old around. So we kind of went over looking for the oldest ones, actually finding the oldest one right before the end of the trip, and went ahead and got a group picture with the oldest tortoise. Now, we made a lot of mistakes along the way thinking, oh, this must be the oldest one, this must be the oldest one. As you can see right now, you see one that's 100 years old. So it wasn't really the size that indicates the old tortoise. In this picture, we are pictured as a group with the oldest tortoise, dating 196 years old. Now, as you can see, it's not all work and no play. We do have fun every day, hanging out as a family.
Hi, my name is Antonio. I'm from Portugal. I'll be staying here with CR Hope for 3 months. 1 month has already passed. And I think the most important thing I've learned here is not the value of a hot shower or a comfy bed, is actually learning that those kind of things don't have value. What I value is the love and how simple love can be, but crucial to our lives. And I think that's what these kids have been telling me for the last month and for the next 2 months. I chose this project because I was looking for an English spoken project, and also because I'm staying. This project offers the opportunity for us to stay in the school and really be part of the school. And I've been loving it, and I'm sure I'll love this even more for the next 2 months. And honestly, the days we live here, we experience here, are days that fulfill a whole life. And for that, I'm very thankful.
Hi, my name is Bo. I'm 18 years old and I'm from the Netherlands. CR Hope Foundation was my first stop in my gap year, and I'd heard about the foundation through my father, who was friends with the founder. And I checked out their Instagram, heard some stories from people, and I was sold immediately. These kids, they're too cute. And my first day here, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was so in love. Like, these kids, they know how to show love in a way different way, nothing that we're used to. And my first day, I felt so welcome. And even though these kids, my class, I had KG1s, they're 3 to 4 years old, but I had never felt love in this kind of way. And I immediately felt such a bond with these kids. Even my favorite moment, I ran into one of my students in the village one day, and bear in mind, he's 3 years old, and he ran up to me, he gave me a hug, and at first I was like, what? And I looked down, it was one of my students, and he was like, come, pulling me, making me follow him, showing me his house, and I met his mom and everything. And that day, I'd only been here for 2 weeks, and I felt so as if I had made an impact, and these kids have made such an impact on me, and an unforgettable experience. I would 100% recommend coming here for even just 2 weeks. Just any time you can spend here or visit, it's 100% worth it already.
So now comes an end where quite a few volunteers will be leaving this coming weekend. So as the tradition goes, volunteers will be writing on the wall. Now there was no room for the wall in the main volunteer house, so came up with the idea of painting the wall in the cantina, which is where the kids enjoy their breakfast. We're going to go ahead and paint the wall, allow these volunteers a chance to share their messages of what their time here has meant for them. It is a sense of pride and a big accomplishment to go ahead and mark the wall. We went ahead and bought the paint, woke up nice and early on Friday. On this Friday, the kids were out of school because it was a holiday, and we decided just to start painting a big wall in the hopes that there'll be room for at least the next 3 to 4 groups of volunteers to add their names and message of inspiration to future volunteers to come.
So 2 weeks here, had a great time. Got to be a little bit of make a little bit of an impact on these kids, and not gonna lie, they made an impact on me. I mean, if you go to my cousin's foundation's Instagram page, CR Hope Foundation, you will read stories from other people talking about the impacts these kids made. And these impacts go a long way in forming the kids' lives as well as the volunteers' lives. I have enjoyed working with these volunteers. These volunteers are all great people. The teachers here are all great people. I really see the future for these kids through the eyes of their teachers and the volunteers that come here. I've said this before, I cannot be prouder of my cousin for starting this thing. This thing was started by both of my cousins, Yanis and Renos. And after the untimely death of my cousin Yanis, Renos took the ball and ran with it and made sure that this thing became a reality. And I'm very proud of him. I know Yanni is looking down on him and very proud of him. For me, this was one of many stops. I can see myself constantly coming here to see the progression that these kids are making in their educational goals and hopefully their future career ambitions. If you get a chance, come down here 1 week, 2 weeks, and see pure joy. These kids don't care about what kind of person you are. They just care about the fact that you're here to spend time with them, and that means the world to them. You guys have a blessed day.